Hey, what's up guys? In this video, we're going to be talking about something a little bit different. We're going to be exploring 5 useful uses for the banner. Now, I know they've been out for a while on console edition, so this video is a little bit late, and I don't really make very many videos like this, but the other day, I was thinking to myself, what can I actually use banners for? Like, in what way are they actually useful? Sure, I use them every so often to make like curtains and cushions and towels and stuff like that, but they haven't really impacted me that much as a builder. So this video is going to explore 5 cool uses that you can use the banner for, and hopefully you get something out of this that you wouldn't have got from another YouTuber or just like out of your common sense. So, if you enjoyed this video, I'd really appreciate it if you could give it a like, I'd love that. Subscribe for more, and comment down below, let me know if there's any other material or feature in Minecraft that you're just not sure why it exists, and maybe I'd make a video about that. But now let's launch into 5 useful uses for banners. Number 1. So at number 1 here, the first use I have for a banner is to use it to kind of like upgrade a house. So whether or not you like banners, I think that this house has definitely achieved a certain distinctive look by using banners. So the banner that we use here is kind of like a cool neon rainbow black brick banner. It's really cool, it looks great, and it's not an effect that you can really get with just a normal block. Sure, we have brick blocks, but they're just one colour and they're a little bit boring. This kind of allows you to keep the texture of a brick, however you can customise the colour. The only problem is that, of course, you've got to be really select when using these banners in houses. There's a reason that a lot of these houses that I'm about to show you look very similar to each other. So this is the first banner. If we move down to the second banner house, we have 3 different colours. Now, this house looks a little bit nicer. This is actually the first house that I designed. It's a little bit more interesting. We have 3 different colours of banners, and we have 3 different colours used in the house. They each correspond with the clay that they have behind them. I think that this house looks quite nice, although it's nothing to write home about. It's very difficult to design a house using the banner, but I wanted to use these as a nice little example, as you could really just, if you like the effect, upgrade a house by just applying a similar coloured banner to the material that you want to apply. So these are a few examples of banner houses, and this last one is actually my favourite, and I think that it works the best. So this is kind of like a really modern style banner house. It looks really great, and the reason that this works a lot bit better than the others is because the banners are only next to each other vertically. They are not next to each other horizontally, which means they only come down, they don't come across from each other, which means that you don't have as much gappage as you do with the other banners. So you can definitely get a really cool effect. This is the first use that I have for banners. It's to apply them to houses. On the sides, as you can see, it doesn't look as nice, and if you want a little bit of a contrast, like if you look on the back here, this is the effect without any banners, and if we were to quickly run to the front, they definitely add a little something. So that is the first use I have for you. If you haven't thought about it before, then maybe look into it. Maybe build a house using banners, and you might be pleasantly surprised with the result. Number 2, the alphabet. So you can make letters out of blocks. You can make letters out of blocks very easily. You can get any single letter you want, and there's a variety of ways to do it. However, you really cannot do the alphabet as small as you can with banners. So, for example, you can't really make a letter X out of just regular blocks, even if you use just slabs, as you can with just using 2 blocks making the banner first. So here we have the entire alphabet. It all looks great. We have A to Z. They only take up 2 spaces, and these can be used in place for actually writing something on a build. So let me give you an example of this. So here we have a nice little shop. This is just a regular shop that you might see just downtown, wherever you would. Like, wherever you would see, like, a normal shop, it doesn't have to look like this. But to convey that it's a shop, you can either write shop using banners, and you only use, in total, 8 block space, or you could write shop using like regular normal size blocks, and it's obvious which one would actually take up more room. And I think that this shop looks great, and of course it doesn't have to be shop. If this was like a barber's, then you could easily write barbers like in letters instead of making it up using blocks. Or if this was a Starbucks, you could write Starbucks, or etc, etc. It really allows you to minimize the size of a particular build, because you don't have to rely on a build being big enough that you can actually write what it is on the side of the building. For instance, I'll just splice a picture in here. This is my Starbucks. To make Starbucks and to actually have it written on the side, I had to make the building really, really big. However, if I had just used banners, I could have immediately shrunk down the build to make it a lot better scaled. It's just a little bit of an example. The alphabet is absolutely a really great use for banners. Let's talk about the next use. Number 3. We actually already touched on the third use for banners, and there may be even more than I'm about to show you, but some easy uses for banners which you can implement very easily and look fantastic are cushions. So this is a normal sofa. It has 2 lime green cushions. All you have to do is simply place 2 banners, preferably with a light source underneath them, and then on top of the banners, or on the upper half, you can, well, those are upside down, you can very easily just make some lovely sofas and some lovely chairs just by adding some banners, and they're just very easily customizable as well. Whereas if you definitely want a white sofa, yet you want to add a bit of color, it's easier to change and it's easier to adapt using banners because there are so many colors of them, whereas there's only so many colors of stairs, and quartz stairs provide such a nice clean texture that it's very easy to simply use the banner rather than change the sofa itself. It definitely changes a room nicely. And also, curtains are a solid use for banners as well, whereas without these, we would have a pretty boring looking window. It's already boring looking at it, but by using banners, and why don't we use a different color here, by using banners, we can easily, it's really hard to do without the HUD. There we go. You can easily change the color of the room, and you can easily brighten it up just by using banners, which really don't take up any space whatsoever. Comparatively, if you wanted to use, say block of gold, just because it's quite a color match, like those for curtains, they don't really work. It's easy to use banners like this, and even more so if we were to use banners in the bathroom. It's such a very small change, but it definitely makes a big difference if we come over to the bathroom here and we have just a banner. This is a towel. Very easy to just add to a room. It doesn't take much effort, it doesn't take much resources, and it definitely just makes a nice little bathroom look a lot more interesting. It absolutely does. So really, that's the entirety of tip number 3. Just use them to apply curtains to a room, use them as towels, use them as cushions and decorations such as that. And if you have any more comments, any more ideas, please leave that down in the comments below, because I'd love to use them even more. But let's talk about the next tip. Number 4. This next tip is a little bit silly. It's a little bit ridiculous, but if you use the right banner, you can put googly eyes or just nice big bright anime-ish eyes on just about anything and bring it to life. For instance, this is McDonald's French fries brought to life with a nice little mouth and 2 banners for eyes. I know, this one's a little bit stupid, but I really like it. This is actually one of my favorite uses for banners. This is some McDonald's French fries brought to life. Looks fantastic if you ask me. I think I did a pretty good job with it. And this is supposed to be a burger, but it kind of looks like a sub sandwich. This is like a burger that's been brought to life once again using eyes. We can see that it has some cheese, it has some lettuce, it has some tomato on there, it even has sesame seeds on the bun with a fit pickle up top, and it's just, they very much bring the characters to life just by throwing some eye banners on them. Now, it's not to say that you can't gain this very same effect by using, say, black wool and white wool. Nobody's saying that you can't do that. However, it just, for some reason, I don't know why, I really do prefer the banners. Like, if we just look at them each next to each other, the banners really do just add a little something. I know it's stupid, I know it is, but I love them. That's one of the uses I actually get out of banners genuinely. And if we move down here, it doesn't have to be like actual fictional weird little things. We can use them on, like, let's say a frog. Like, this is a nice little frog. I like him. He looks kind of good. He's actually just catching a fly with his tongue sticking out. Here we have a lion, and this is something that you don't really get from banners. And I'll show you a better example of this in a second. This is something that you can't get from regular blocks. Like, there's something about the banner that it's just so slim and it's just so sleek that it looks a little bit better to me than placing two individual blocks. So this is a lion sitting down, and a better example of this is if we look at a crab here that I've kind of put together very quickly. Like, you know how crabs, or at least when you draw them, crabs have those like big eyes coming out of like the top of the head, superseding the body. Then it really works here. Like, if I was to build, let's say, like a Gary from SpongeBob, then I'd absolutely use banners for his eyes over using regular blocks. I know, guys, it's a little bit silly, but I think that it's a pretty genuine tip. Use banners to animate any sort of weird fictional character that you might just decide to build, and I think that it looks really cool. But let's talk about the fifth and final tip that I have for you. Number 5. So this is the final tip, and the final tip I have for you is you can create some pretty cool artwork by using banners. So let's pretend that this wasn't already a pixel art, because to make it easy, I created a Steve pixel art and used corresponding banners with the actual pixel art, and you create a really cool effect using these banners, and you can get really precise movements with them than you can with just regular old blocks. And if we move down here, we also have Spider-Man, and on the right here we have something a little bit complicated still. You might be able to see that he is only half done. This is Pikachu. There's a reason for that. If we grab a grey banner here and we try and place some banners, you'll notice that you actually can't. For this video, this is one of the downsides of banners. I discovered that there is actually a maximum number of banners that you can actually have in a world, which is kind of an issue. So if you did want to make a giant, great looking piece of artwork with banners, you've got to be very careful because you might not actually be able to do it. A way around this I've found is if you exit and save, and you load things back up, when you get back in, you will be able to place a few more banners. Now, I'm not sure what the limit is, it only allowed us to place 3, but as far as I have found is you can keep doing that over and over and over again. However, something that I worry about using is if I do that enough times, will some of the other banners disappear? I'm not sure, I have no idea, but you can get very precise movements with banners using pixel art, and here are some that are a little bit more complicated that I wish I could include in this video that I have created, but here are some actual pieces of art that people have created using them that are, like I said, more complicated, better than what I have, but unfortunately due to the restrictions, I really can't just make them myself because it'd take forever. Plus, I think that some of my banners might just run away if I do that. And there we are, guys. Those are my 5 uses for banners that I came up with. I couldn't really think of too many other uses for them unless we get into really weird specific things, but I think that these are 5 pretty decent uses that you could probably apply to your own builds in your own world, and hopefully you at the very least took one of these away and you can use it, and maybe it's just something that you hadn't thought of before. If you like this video, please give it a like, I'd really appreciate that. Also, comment down below, would you like to see another video like this, or are you completely sick of them? Let me know. Subscribe for more, and if you're interested, I don't just make videos like this, I mainly make tutorials, a lot of which look like this. So this is a city that I've been working on. On the left here we have a public park, on the right we actually have the city sector. Everything here has a tutorial, however this doesn't really give my channel any justice. I have over 1,000 tutorials and this is just a very small cross section of things that I've made. It's only up until recently that I've actually decided to start building things in a city, but if you head into the card system or the description below, you'll find playlists. Lots of them. For instance, if you wanted to make anything in this park that we have down below, you would go into the park builds playlist and it'll have everything that you can see down here and even more stuff. And if you were to head into the real world building playlist, then you would find everything that we have down on the ground in front of us, including so much more. And if none of that is your thing, if you really only like houses, there'll be plenty of house playlists, and those are just 2 out of the many hundreds of houses that I've made. And even more so, if you're looking for more obscure things, then this is a little bit of a theme park that we're very slowly putting together on the channel. You check out the theme park playlist for this. So, what I'm saying is, basically, explore the channel, check out the cards, check out the description below, subscribe for more shenanigans like this, and let me know, do you want to see another video like the one that I've just put together for you, or would you just like to see more tutorials? Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.